What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. First things first, I just want to start off by saying that the light in my garage is still not working. If you guys watched the coilover install on S2000, light was still out. For some reason, this light is really weird where it'll come on and I can turn on and it'll turn off when I want it to be on. But we're just gonna use the garage light for now, so just keep in mind. But we finally have some Lexus content for you guys. I have been seeing a lot of videos just scattered throughout many of my Lexus videos that you guys want more content. So trust me, I do see them. And today we do have something going on the car that is kind of unintentional but intentional at the same time. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, I've had this car for about 6 years, and there have been videos, a lot of videos that I've posted about this car, but there have been a lot of videos that I have not posted on this car. And today we are taking care of a lot of the maintenance things. This car right now is not currently running. The transmission, I think, has gone out on me. It's starting to slip when it's shifting from first to second. So I'm gonna take it to the transmission shop. I'm hoping that, just changing the fluid will actually help. But by the title of this video, you guys already saw, we are going to be doing the PCV valve change, the spark plugs, as well as an oil catch can for this car. And what you guys don't know is I've actually attempted to do this exact video 3 separate occasions that I have not posted. So the past week I have been kind of just dismantling everything, making sure the intake manifold is kind of unbolted, that I can just easily take it off. What you guys have not seen is I've actually had the oil catch can bolted down to the car in this vicinity right here, but I haven't installed it. It's just literally just been sitting there. It's not, the hoses aren't connected to anything. It's literally just for decoration. So that takes care of one. The spark plugs, on the other hand, so you do have 3 of the spark plugs on the left side. So 1, 2, and 3. The terrible thing about this car is that the other 3 spark plugs are underneath the intake manifold. So as you can see, 1 is right there, 1 is underneath there, and then 1 is just back there. It's just very difficult to get to. And if you're someone who's like me, where you don't really want to have to take off a lot of things to get something done, you just don't want to do it. So those are the 2 things. The last thing was the PCV valve. The oil catch can is actually going to be connecting directly to the PCV valve. It is back there. And it's, if you guys can see, it's that little thing right there. That one is extremely difficult to take off if you don't take off the intake manifold. So while we're at it, and while I have the intake manifold off to change the spark plugs, I might as well change the PCV valve, and I did get that off Amazon for $7. So I'll include the link for that if you guys do want to replace it. I do highly suggest it if you guys are installing oil catch can, or if you're installing spark plugs, you guys can just do it at the same time. For some of you who don't want to do spark plugs, or you did it already and you don't want to take off anything, technically you can get it off from here, but for some reason I can't get it off. It's a little hard to fit a wrench behind there because there are a lot of, the space is just really cramped. So that's why I'm just doing this all in one take. So that's kind of what we're gonna be taking care of today. I really don't believe this should take too long, but all my installs, there's probably gonna be something that comes up, but it did end up taking care of the majority of the things that do need to be taken care of first, like unbolting the intake manifold. So if you guys are doing this, I'm gonna just flash a bunch of pictures for the bolts that you need to take off for the intake manifold. It's gonna take too long if I end up explaining it. So pause the video. There's gonna be a couple screenshots following this so you guys can know what to take off for the intake manifold. So before I set you guys down on the tripod, we're gonna be taking care of the passenger side spark plugs. So that my car's a USD. If you guys are in Japan, if you guys have a right-hand drive Lexus, it's gonna be a different story. But this one, we are gonna be starting with the passenger side. You're gonna be removing the bolts for the connectors first. So this one underneath there, and then 1 right there. They're all gonna be at 10 millimeters. So you're gonna unscrew those bolts first. Once you unscrew those bolts, you will remove the connectors for each. So once you have those unbolted, please remember which one is where. So if this is 2, this is 1, and there's no writing on that one, don't try to mix it around because it's not gonna work that way. It's just not how the car works. So remember which one you're gonna be doing. So I already disconnected the connector, as you guys probably saw. You just pop this guy out, and then I'm gonna move it to the side. So next, now we have that connector out, you'll see that there's a hole there. You obviously can't fit just any normal wrench. So you will need a special spark plug socket. We have it marked in our toolbox so that we know whenever we need to do spark plugs, this one is spark plug socket. You can just look this up on Amazon. I'll see if I can find the link for this one and leave it in the description down below. But you will need this in order to take out your spark plug. Now what you can do is you can just compare the old spark plug to the new one, and just examining this one definitely just looks like it has a lot of wear and tear. So it was a good thing that I'm replacing this. I don't know the interval of when you're supposed to change your spark plugs, but being that I never replaced it and I don't remember the last time it's been replaced on the car, I was like, I just might as well take care of it. The ones that I bought are actually from Amazon, and these come pre-gapped, so you don't have to worry about gapping the spark plug when you buy it. So I'll include this box as well as the spark plug as well in the description down below. So I ended up just applying a little bit of anti-seize, and I did seat it on the spark plug socket so that when you go ahead and install it, you're not kind of finagling it in there. So this just makes it a lot easier. So go ahead and just install it. Once you install it, you're just going to want to hand tight it, and then once it's kind of seated and kind of snug, go ahead and get a torque wrench and torque it down to 18 foot-pounds. That's going to be the same torque specs for all its spark plugs. Then once everything's torqued down, you can go ahead and put the connector back. This process took probably like 5 minutes just because one, I was filming, and two, I wanted to be very meticulous. So if that's something like you, it probably should take no more than like 5-10 minutes for one. Alright y'all, so I just want to give you guys a bit of an update. I ended up taking a break for like the last day just because my allergies are like really killing me. So if I sound really congested, this allergy is just really kicking my butt. I didn't really record the driver's side of replacing the spark plugs just because it's really going to be the same process the other side. It's just that you're gonna have to take off the intake manifold. So the driver's side is done, the passenger side is done. I just didn't want to give you guys an overview if you guys haven't seen this part of your car before, or this part of the engine. I think the thing with the IS250s is that if you really want to clear out your carbon buildup, you're going to want to walnut blast all of those like 6 cylinders. I believe my terminology is correct, but I think you will have to walnut blast all 6 of those in order to kind of clear the majority of it out. I most likely will take it to a professional to get it done, but just looking at it, it does look kind of dirty. So I think walnut blasting this whole thing will clear up a lot of like, you know, the drivability of the car, the smoothness. So after seeing it, it does look actually like really dirty, like especially that one. Yeah, they all look really dirty. So I'm gonna see if I can find a professional in the Bay Area to see if they can do it. If you guys have any recommendations on one in the Bay Area, feel free to let me know, but that's essentially what it looks like. And since we're here, the PCV valve is gonna be this little guy right here. So the problem that I was having is just I wasn't able to lift up this hose above the PCV valve, and it's just really tight to take it off, pause. So I just wasn't able to take this off, but now that I have more room without the intake manifold there, it's gonna be a lot easier. So now that we have the PCV valve off the car, this is obviously the old one. It just looks very old, dirty, you know, just wear and tear. I don't think this has been replaced the whole time I've had the car. I haven't done it, and I don't think it was on any of the service records when I bought it from Lexus. It's a good thing that I'm replacing it because this looks absolutely disgusting. This is the new one. It was fairly easy if you have the crow's foot wrench. So this thing was, you know, huge because this isn't a size 19 crow's foot wrench. Like I said, I'll put it in the description so if you guys want to do this yourself, you guys can have the tools to do it. I did have just a regular 19mm wrench, and it was a little difficult with this. It wasn't too bad. It was just, since I have the extension, it was just kind of rubbing up on the plastic piece. But if you just have the wrench and then the crow's foot thing, you shouldn't have any of that problems. So the last piece of this install is going to be the oil catch can. I bought this, I want to say about 1.5 years ago from RR Racing, so I don't know if the instructions have changed. I don't know if the design of the catch can itself has changed. I don't know if the whole process has changed, but this was from about 1.5 years ago. Like I mentioned, this has just been installed in the car, and I just haven't had the chance to install it, but today is finally the day just because I have everything. The good thing about RR Racing, I have purchased a few products from them before, and it does come with like detailed instructions, including pictures, you know, explaining what the hell a oil catch can does, because in all honesty, I had no idea what this thing does. They do give you like an explanation of what it is, visual explanation if you guys are really interested in that, and then kind of like showing you what exactly it is that you will be doing. So essentially what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be routing these hoses to the PCV, from the PCV valve into the oil catch can and then back in. So instead of, you know, the PCV valve hose just going from like one location to the other, this is kind of just going to be like the middleman to catch anything extra from the engine that shouldn't be going in there, bad carbon deposits, and it'll be going into here. Everything that you see here is pretty much coming from the packaging that RR Racing sent you, except for this thing. I had to buy this from Lowe's. It's just a hose connector that is going to connect from here into the next hose from the PCV valve. Intake manifold is back in the car. As you can see, this line right here that did connect to the old PCV valve is now in with that like little fitting, connecting from the old line into the new hose that's gonna go into the oil catch can. So the cool thing about this is that the oil catch can is just gonna sit right here and it's gonna bolt up to the actual engine with bolts that were already on the engine. So you don't have to buy anything else. So now that you guys saw me install the actual catch can itself, this is how it looks like. We do have one more step and then we're gonna be finished. So as you see, the right side of the oil catch can, the one closer to the actual car itself, this line is hooked up right there. I hooked it around this brake line. I think this is a brake line at least. It's hooked right behind here, and then it attaches to the hose that connects to the oil, the intake manifold. And then on the other side of the oil catch can, you do have this end of the hose. This is gonna plug in directly into the PCV valve, which is the shiny silver hose right there. Once we attach that, everything is good to go. And then, you know, you can empty this every other gas fill up just to kind of see if there's any carbon deposits. There's like a little ball on this side that shows how full it is. So that'll let you guys know if, you know, if it is getting full, to empty it out. And at least you guys know that's being filtered from intake manifold in the engine to somewhere where it's not supposed to be. All right, y'all, so I just finished putting everything back. It definitely looks the same, obviously from my point of view, because obviously I've been seeing this the whole time, but let me show you guys how the oil catch can looks like while all the panels, well, the majority of the panels are on the car. So it's not anything too crazy, but it does look like kind of OEM. Definitely like have a little bit of pop with the silver. At least you know that it's doing its purpose. So nothing too crazy. Everything is back together and everything looks really good. So these allergies are really just killing me right now, but I'm glad everything is done. I know this video is probably gonna be longer than most videos, but I kind of wanted to clump everything in together in one video. And you guys can like kind of divide it in parts or wherever however you want to do it. If you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely give this video a big thumbs up. If you guys aren't already, subscribe to the channel down below. But until the next video, we'll see you guys in the next one.